Hello and welcome back to Cabincast Reacts for Doctor Who. It's been a few
a little
months.
while.
Indeed. Happy Easter.
Yeah, in
It's
case you couldn't tell when we were recording this.
because this is the Easter special, which we know what's going to be about already.
Mm-hmm.
Because I've seen so much promotional stuff for this, so I'm really hoping it follows up from
I have been avoiding.
the last. Okay. Well, I won't say anything then extra, but
Yeah,
I'm not sure I've watched any of the trailers, but I know who historically is in it, and I know the villains who are in it.
yeah.
So don't get my hopes up too much. But we
Did you
both
watch
we
the
both quite
extra?
enjoyed Flux.
Yeah,
We both really enjoyed the Christmas special.
yeah.
So yeah, only got a couple of episodes
Stormtrooper
left of
aiming
Joby.
for the
Stormtrooper aiming, yeah.
Stormtrooper aiming. Yeah, that was great.
What were you saying? Did I watch the?
Oh, what was it? Literally had it start a couple of seconds ago.
Was there a
It'll
short or
come back to
something
me.
that they did to make before it,
No,
or?
no, it'll come back to me. I think in a bit.
Okay. I have no idea,
Yeah.
basically. But last we left off, the Doctor and them were kind of put in like time purgatory because the Daleks were pretty upset for them killing all the Daleks, which even for the even for the Daleks is kind of fair enough.
Yeah, that's a surprisingly fair. It's a surprisingly decent justification for the Daleks.
Yeah,
Usually
it's
they
like
don't need an
you committed
excuse.
genocide again. I guess technically he kind of didn't commit genocide the first time, but they don't know that. Um,
Mhm.
we want to punish you for this, and it's like, yeah, it's fair. We had Dan still being great. We had a couple of
Evil Dan is evil Dan.
evil Dan. We had a couple of great side characters who are now kind of together and going off to see the world. And we had Yaz kind of, and the Doctor were both kind of confronted by Dan by, do you
Yeah.
like her? Why haven't you said anything? And she likes you. It's not subtle.
Cease.
You need to do something about that one way or another.
Yeah.
Which I'm glad that we got that confirmation, but I'm also concerned considering we've only got this and one more episode left. Because that's scary.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I don't know how. Almost an hour, if not an hour, or a little bit longer potentially. It's starting at 10 past, so maybe 50 minutes. I guess we will see.
Yeah.
But yeah, really just quite excited to see what they've got in store for us.
Mm-hmm.
We're just watching through the credits of The Lion King.
Yes.
As that's just what
Distributed by
finished up.
Walt Disney Studio Motion Pictures.
Of
You would have
course.
thought. And there's the
Yeah.
castle.
Indeed. Yeah, you are a few seconds ahead of me then.
Ah.
I'm just on
Try
distributed by Walt Disney. I'll try refreshing and see if that brings me a little bit
refreshing.
further up to date, or it might just be that you're a little bit ahead of me.
Mm-hmm. Currently
Either
watching.
or...
Either that, or it's just going to be I see things slightly quicker.
Potentially, which is often the way when you're trying to watch live TV. So
Yeah.
I've just got an ad for Around the World in 80 Days.
Yeah, I'm well past that. I'm on whatever this is. Something to do with clothes.
It's what's it called?
They haven't even.
This is your captain speaking.
Great British Sewing Bee.
Yeah, the Great British Sewing Bee, of course. Okay, yeah, you're just going to be a bit ahead of me. So
Yeah. Okay.
unless you try refreshing and see if it knocks you back a bit, but I doubt it will. Documentary about the family.
I'm quickly refreshing.
Is that guy?
And pain, because for some reason, oh, why has it done this?
It takes a
Okay,
little while.
yeah. Hang on, come on. Ba-do-do-do-do.
Here
Come
we
on.
go.
Reload. Reload. Reloading. Reloading. Okay, I'm on BBC One.
Yep, same.
Yeah.
So that's not too bad then.
Yeah. Okay, BBC. 100
An
years of
old
our
enemy.
BBC.
3, 2, 1. Starting now. BBC. 100 years of BBC.
Yeah, I'm well ahead of you
Okay,
then.
that's fine. Well, be caught up with
1807.
me at the very least if you're trying to watch this along with us.
Yeah. Oh. Not gonna lie, it doesn't look particularly oriental in style. Maybe it does a little bit.
I'm not familiar enough with the time period.
Okay, that looks fairly oriental.
Yeah. Pirate
Pirate
would
lady.
be my guess.
Mhm.
I like the music.
It's really weird to hear Chinese people talking with British accent.
You're not wrong, but
I think this is also it is Quinn era, so the heads the
mhm.
hair and the sort of what's it called round down the back, that's mandated by the Queen government.
Okay.
So that's correct. Oh, that's an interesting statue.
That's a sea devil.
Oh, what's going on there?
I don't really know.
Is the sea devil in the thing?
I don't know.
Oh,
Is that a map?
yeah, it is live. Oh no,
Ooh,
squidgy sounds. Oh
indeed.
no. Well, it's alive.
Mm-hmm.
Weird thinking that this is going to be some of the last time we see this.
Yeah.
It still remains one of the more famous. Well, I say famous. One of my favorite intros.
Oh, it's really great.
They've they've been getting better. I think that's one thing that I will say for the newer series.
I've loved all of them, but this one is
They
really,
they get better. Like
really cool.
Capaldi's, I think still might be the gold standard though.
I really liked how it looked. I didn't love the music on that one as much.
I don't mind the music on the Capaldi's.
I enjoyed the music on all of them, but that was maybe my least favorite music, except for when you have the electric guitar.
Mhm.
That was awesome, but
Period appropriate attire.
I know.
I say century appropriate attire. Apparently, they're centuries off.
Yeah. Damn. It's amazing. Though I love the Doctor's shirt.
Oh, okay.
Ooh.
TARDIS is once again bringing you to a place of interest.
Indeed. Some
Um,
jewelry hijacking.
yeah, but why is it stealing stones?
Hmm.
Toff, hello.
Haha. Yawoosh. Hmm. Some pretty good skips there.
Oh, you've only got to the skips.
Yep.
Why is it raining there but not on the beach?
Geo weirdness.
The Sea Devil is killing people. Yeah, it's going on a bit of a massacre. Oh dear.
Just a little bit. And he has a sword.
Oh. Okay, well that was quick.
Mm.
Oh wow. Okay. Oh god, that was very cheesy. Um.
The eyes on that thing are huge.
Yeah. Oh, hello.
I was going to say, he's got a sword. The rope was not going to... It's a ghost ship!
It's a very big junk.
Ah, that's a cool ship.
Oh, and he's gone onto the ship. Oh, and there's a bunch of other Sea Devils there.
That makes sense.
They
Oh,
look
that was a
somewhat...
jump.
Yeah. No beach holiday for you. They haven't gone as large as they could have gone with the junk.
No,
Um,
but it isn't small.
I mean, the Chinese at certain points produce like absolute monster seven sail junks that weren't like anywhere in competition until. Oh dear, yeah, that's very dead.
Yeah.
Um,
And that's all your fault.
yay!
Pirate Queen. Yeah. The lost treasure of the Flor de la Mar. Mm.
Oh, something is seeking and feasting. Very nice.
Mm.
Oh, we get a. I swear, if that is any type of extinct, I will be very
Doctor
upset.
Who. There's so many sea monsters in the ocean.
Yes, this is true, but I'm going to be very upset if it's anything
If it's anything
extinct.
legitimately extinct, sure.
Yeah.
I mean, Sea Devils, Silurians are all supposed to be, you know. Oh, that guy might be in trouble.
Yeah, he looks in trouble.
That's a big wave, buddy.
My dude, I would. No, he. Nah, that's not worth it, my friend. I mean, to be fair, you probably just killed it. Oh. Okay. Well, that's definitely not. That's definitely not what I was fearing. So, good on the creators for
Cool.
that.
Yes, that's definitely more alien. And very scary.
Dan has such a way with words.
Mm-hmm. Is Dan going on a revenge quest with some other guy?
Yeah. It's Evil Dan. He's
Mhm.
Darth Dan.
Ho ho. Smart.
They're gonna go up.
Unless something already happened to her crew.
Oh,
Or she
they
killed them all.
they've noticed.
Mm-hmm. That makes sense. Okay, I don't think I'm too far behind you now, which is good.
I'm not sure this is an appropriate cultural image of like. I mean, I understand his motives, but I'm not sure this is exactly what a Chinese peasant would decide to do.
Is he a peasant?
I assume so. I mean, he's
I mean,
given
they
me
seem
no
to have.
indication otherwise.
S-
Oh dear. Although at least they've got the red sails right.
Hmm.
Dan, use your evil dark force powers.
Smart move, Dan.
Also, ooh, that's a very interesting junk. Is that? No, it's not a 9 sail design. Sad face, but it's close.
Close enough for me. I cannot tell the difference.
Well, a 9 sail junk will
1533.
have 9 big sails.
Checks out. Yeah. It's gone mad. Is that why she's got no crew either?
Oh, it's a sea devil.
Oh, it's a sea devil.
I think that might be the ship from earlier.
I think you might be right.
Oh, that's where that scene came from the last, from the 2 scenes we saw in the previous episode. They're gonna end up in a dispute in the South China Sea with the People's Liberation Navy. Sorry, the People's Liberation Army Navy. Because things didn't
The
need to be
plan.
more complicated. Yes, the plan. That is literally what it's called. See, the Chinese Navy always has a plan. It's literally in the name.
Mm-hmm.
And the current plan is build aircraft carriers. Come on, Yaz, you know how this works now.
I was gonna say, come on, yes. It works in space. Of course, it works under the water. There we go.
Hang
She did
on.
remember.
Hang on. Hang on. Must investigate.
I like how they're flying around the TARDIS light. That's cool.
Okay, I'll let them off.
Oh,
Cuttlefish do happen to be in those waters.
nice. It looked really cool. I had a feeling that was what you were going to be like wondering about.
I always just assumed that cuttlefish were a Mediterranean thing, but apparently they're quite common in shallow waters all around the.
You didn't miss that important emotional beat, though, did you?
No, I didn't.
Okay, cool. No ship Sherlock as well. This is not it. Oh, all that. What?
Big boy.
That's not good.
Oh, om nom nom. TARDIS is tasty. Again,
Yeah, TARDIS will be alright, but that's still not great.
oh, this is cool. Just get
Yeah.
Honshu to come help you.
Dan.
Excuse me, what?
Because he's from Liverpool.
Oh my god, it is Honshu.
Oh. You weren't as far off as you thought.
Yeah. That is an ear. Husbands.
Oof. Is that yours?
Yeah, I know.
So her crew's been held hostage.
Makes sense.
Hmm.
So presumably must identify what time period this episode is in.
Hmm. 3 and 6. Damn. Really enjoying the music though.
Yeah. Damn it, Doctor Who! Give me the goddamn goods. I want to know what time period it is. Oh,
I feel they said what date it was.
I'm sure they did, but I've completely blanked it.
Can't remember now.
Oh, it's a Spinosaurus. No, it's not. Obviously, it's
It's
not.
not.
But still, it's cool.
It is cool. Man the cannons! It's 3 Spinosauruses in a row.
Yeah. I mean, I would absolutely hate it if it was, but
They're traveling in formation to
yeah.
conceal their numbers.
That is no. Excuse me, BBC. Do you understand how the physics of cannon on water? I mean, the answer is clearly not. But
No. That didn't work.
excuse me. What? What?
Ah, yeah, the gravity. Oh, that's what it is, of course! Of course cannonballs don't work like that. The gravity anomaly, remember? Messing with the jewellery and the rocks and everything.
Yeah. I love how they all these various attributes just don't.
Geomagnograph.
Analyze everything. Just like
Is this the creature?
I don't know. Okay, so they're on GN's ship somehow.
Oh, that makes sense.
Oh wow, that's okay.
Ooh, oh, it's there, and it's floating now.
Yes.
Do you like how they've got like the beaks?
Yeah.
Why did they need the ship? That's what I said. Ah, that would, yeah, be why.
Oh, he's just alive down there somewhere, is he?
It almost looks like a TARDIS.
It does almost. He's just gonna be there.
Some kind of frozen stasis or something. Yeah, that doesn't seem fun. Yeah, I was gonna say, he threw all his crew off his ship. Oh. Very powerful.
Mm-hmm. Oh, let's they go.
Up indeed.
Wait, the cannonballs exploded, but also didn't explode. And also didn't go through the boat.
These are different cannonballs. Geronimo.
Yeah, I'm there.
No, you don't stand a chance, it's true. Yeah, can't be alive. That was him.
Boarding time.
Boarding time. Geronimo back.
No way is this going to be a message about climate change.
I mean, that's not. It's less so climate change and more so just super speeding up the flooding.
Yes.
Yeah. That doesn't seem good.
Oh, there they are.
Oh yeah, there they are. It's not a very big crew though, Doc.
Big cruise though when it's elite ?
Hmm. I mean, we know the Doctor knows how to spoon fight at the very least.
Spoon, sword, what's the difference?
Yeah.
Donk. What happened? Hey, just suddenly some balls came out of his head.
No, he fell into some cannonballs,
Oh, he
Tom.
fell into some cannonballs. Oh, okay, that makes sense.
You're having a great time today.
Yeah, I'm very confused. Saved your life. Now you've got to fight for me. Off you go.
Yeah, that would be appreciated. Front flip.
Another section of the ship there. Oh, he just dropped it. Very nice. Oh no, it melted off that the handle. Okay. Or just kill him.
I mean, to be fair, they killed all the other ones, so
This is true.
I guess she wasn't really paying attention.
No, she was about surviving.
Mm,
And also,
yeah.
one of them is at least knocked out because Yaz and Dan just fed him to some cannonballs. Oh, the sky has gone green. Now it's blue.
Ooh,
Oh, my dude just be really out here having lots of fun. I'm loving this.
it's quite a different day. Got to focus on the positives, I suppose.
hmm Dan be like, come on, you two. I told you last episode.
Yeah. I do like that we've got some more solo Yaz and Doctor stuff, though. Ah, that's kind of sparky.
Yes. Boy. Doctor, 5 minutes ago. What, you did have to kill him? 5 seconds after that. Here, take this sword and use it in emergencies. Dan. Yee! I killed all of them. Not just the men, but the women and children too.
Yeah, his mum took out a Sontaran with a frying pan.
hmm
I guess she did clarify that this is already an emergency situation because the world's about to flood, so.
Yeah. She's also now talking about trying that literally just said something along the lines of no human, no sea devil has to die. Doctor, make up your mind.
Jodie's doctor's always been a bit all over the place with when it's right to kill and when it's not. I don't think she's ever going to quite figure it out, unfortunately.
No. Oh. Oh, that's even nicer.
It's pink now.
Oh no. River Song. We got a River Song reference.
Oh. True, this is after he lost River. She lost River.
They.
They lost River, yeah. Hooray for Jihun!
Hmm.
Ooh, that's not good.
What? The sea monster? Okay. Big explosion. No. It's
I guess
not
that's
what
true.
makes a good legend. Very nice. Now we're gonna sell a bunch of opium to everyone. Trust me, it'll be good.
It'll be great. It'll be a great time.
Yeah. Until the British corner. Oh wait, I'm not supposed to talk about politics.
Shh. That is who they are. That is very true.
Goddamn beach holiday. It's gotta happen some point.
We're gonna find an actual beach, finally. It is.
Dan. Dan is talking to someone.
See, calling die, yeah.
Oh.
Oh.
Dan is Dan. Whoop whoop whoop. I mean, technically, they have found a beach. I don't think it's the beach they wanted.
No. It's not a lovely beach. Yeah.
Unable to settle down. Same old universe, unable to save itself.
Yeah.
Either that, or you'll end up just becoming someone else, which is difficult.
Yeah. It is kind of both those things, yeah.
There is a reason why Gryffindors also can be very stupid. Because courage is, in some regards, very unhelpful for your self preservation.
Mm-hmm.
Interesting. We've actually got. Give me. Are we going to see the skim, or are they going to cut credits? I'm going to figure out what the wish was. Oh, here we are.
Yeah, we've still got a couple of minutes.
And nothing does ever last forever.
Nothing ever lasts forever. Of course, the Doctor's good at skimming.
Oh. Hello, Daleks. Oh no. That didn't look good. That's happened several times now.
Master! Yeah! Oh!
Oh.
Oh my gosh, there was old companions.
Yep.
That was that Ace and
But yeah.
I do need to listen to Doctor Who Redacted. That looks really interesting.
19th century. It doesn't tell me anything beyond 19th century. And I know the release date. It's today.
Let's just jump back. I'm going to jump back to the start. Back it up. Forward.
You having a look at the
I'm trying to see if there's
again.
a date at the start. Yeah. Come on. Okay, here we are. I'm at the start. 1807.
1807. 1807.
Okay.
1807. Okay, so around middle aged at the time. Early in her career, probably long before. So I'm going through the coming soon now. So we got Daleks.
We've got Daleks. We've got Cybermen.
Someone in a cyber. I can't tell who.
It's the guy, right?
Hmm?
It's the guy.
The guy.
It's the half Cyberman who we had in season 12.
Is it?
It's the same one, isn't it?
Very well, maybe. It looks feminine, but I don't know. We'll see.
I thought he got like shrunk by the Master, but I suppose that doesn't mean he's gone.
Yeah, this is the day you die, which is that's happened several times before.
Yeah. But we've got them.
Then we've got old companions back again.
Which is very exciting.
Yeah. We got Vinda. I saw Vinda.
I saw Vinda too. Yeah, Vinda was back.
We got
which makes
Vinda,
sense.
and we got the Master. So we've got at least Daleks.
Master's got a beard. He looks great.
And the Master.
Yeah.
Returning.
Which is plenty of things.
Very interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so it was 1807 that was set. That's that's literally a year before she took power over the Pirate Confederacy.
Ah, that makes sense.
So it is right before her husband died, and she took her adopted son as her. I think it was her adopted son, if I remember correctly.
Hmm. But yeah.
Central leadership. effectively inherited this control while Zhao Bao. Okay.
And then was it Ji-hun?
Ji-hun.
Was that the captain's name? I don't quite...
Yeah, that was the captain's name. I did
don't know
try
if
to
he
look him
was
up, but I don't know how
real.
it's spelt. That's the issue. It does ring a bell because I think he was one of the people who ran the Chinese treasure fleets.
Right, yeah.
Okay. And what I think the ship that was being shown was meant to be was it was supposed to be a 9-sail junk, which was like the
Sure.
big treasure ships. But it didn't have 9 sails and it wasn't big enough.
Sure.
But that's immaterial really at the end of the
Yeah.
day. I'm gonna have to turn on some lights. Just give me a sec.
And it's fair.
All of a sudden got very dark in my room. At least that's what I think they were going for. No real complaints on a historical front other than I find it weird that the way they did the cannonballs didn't work right.
Yeah, I'm gonna put that back to it was all the same weird geomagnetic thing.
Yeah, okay.
And use that as the explain away.
Yeah, that
For me. Because I know what you mean.
It made me very confused.
Like
I
when they
was
went
very
mew, but the fact that they then went whoop and went up and exploded, I was like, okay,
yeah.
I can lump that all
I mean,
together as one
yeah,
thing.
maybe, but I mean, interesting is
It's one of those things where like
Hang on, just reading.
I don't think you often see cannonballs actually like impact, but
Mhm,
because the fact that they came back up, you kind of needed to see them go in.
mhm.
So yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
Um.
yeah. Now what I'd say is like once again, it was a lot of fun.
Yeah.
I had a lot of fun with it. There were some great moments between Yaz and the Doctor. Um, we had Dan is just always hilarious with whoever he's with, and that was still the case here.
Yeah. Dan
Um,
is Dan. Dan is best.
yeah,
It's a fun little
fun
adventure.
adventure.
It's not.
Like at first, the Pirate Queen, Madam Chi, was it?
I have no idea how it's pronounced.
Hmm.
Zheng Yishao is
Her
the
full
the
name.
full name.
Okay, but like
Again,
at
I am
first,
absolutely. Many apologies to anyone from China who's listening from this. I actually cannot pronounce your language.
it's yeah.
I barely have the capability to support the English language, let alone another language, and certainly not a language of your complexity.
This is true. Um,
And that's a terrifying thought, seeing as in world going. I'm contemplating maybe doing some bibliography and trying to do my own language for name places, which is a
yeah,
horrific and daunting task.
indeed.
Um,
But like at first, she seemed a bit kind of just
Konglanging, that's what it's called.
generic, kind of like I'm a pirate and I'm gonna kill you. But then
I
kind of when you
mean,
get the reason as to why she's doing it and everything, it's like okay, no, this is pretty great.
I will say for the historical characters, like I say, I think both captains were historical, and it's just sort of idea.
Mhm.
Let's bring the two most famous Chinese people who commanded fleets together. Why not?
Sure. Yeah. I
It
didn't expect the
felt,
twist either that they have with him actually saving his crew, not
yeah,
like getting rid of them all.
it does make sense because he was known to be quite a If he is the person I'm thinking of, I'm 90% sure that he is. He was an honourable man.
Sure.
It was said that he was an
Sure.
honourable man. He was actually a Muslim, if I remember correctly.
Ah.
Which was interesting for the time because it was the Tang dynasty that this was occurring. And the Tang were somewhat more tolerant than later dynasties. Somewhat being analogous for not excluding them because of their religion,
Mm.
and not he was treated fairly well because he wasn't.
Sure.
I don't think he died at sea though. I might be wrong in that.
Fair.
Again, it's not for certain, although I'm pretty convinced that it is. I feel like neither of them were given the proper historical deference. And I think this has happened a couple of times. Part of why Flux was so good was because you had, for the historical characters, you actually had a decent amount of time to get to know them, whether they
Yes.
were inspired or straight up an historical insert.
Sure.
That was one of the things that I liked most about Flux, because they had that like elongated structure. They could delve a lot more into the history of some of these people.
Yeah. Gotcha.
And it kind of feels a bit short going back into there. I'm a bit iffy as well on some of the some of the motives for some of the characters as well. I mean, as far as I'm aware, there was never a case where an entire pirate crew got kidnapped and then they sent the captain off on her own to do the ship, that type of stuff.
Yeah, I was going to say, I was wondering if that was a thing that happened, or that's just like a alternate thing that they choose to happen here. Because
no, I don't think that's a thing that happens, because for one, it wouldn't be possible. It just would not be possible. With a ship of that size, it's a 3-sail yunk. I mean, it's basically the equivalent of a British frigate.
Sure.
No, you're not going to be sailing that on your own. The mere force is ridiculous. Not that would probably stop her from trying, but they don't. I don't think they get a lot of the things from, at least historically, from what shows through of her character, because she was one of these great naval commanders. And at the time, the Chinese didn't really put a lot of stock in the navy, since again the sort of Tang older dynasties, the navy in China had sort of become like, well, it's nothing of importance. And when they saw, for example, the Western ships coming in, the European ships, they saw them as basically not that superior to their junks. And to be fair to them, they had a point, because junks are actually really decent ships, very maneuverable, far more maneuverable than Western sail-rigged,
Sure.
and very easily could accommodate cannons. So they just took the cannons, which they'd known about and used for centuries, because after all, gunpowder was used and created in China.
Indeed.
They had nothing to fear from these Westerners coming over with their big ships. Yes, they could go further out into the ocean, but China didn't need that. They've got all the resources they need there.
Yeah.
So the sailors and the strategists of China of the era didn't have a military to go into to show their their expertise. And to be fair, she wouldn't have been even allowed in the military in China.
Yeah.
So a lot of those commanders and people very familiar with it either went into trade, and we never learnt their names, because despite them being good sailors and great strategists, they just traded, or they ended up in the Pirate Confederacy, which is like an insane story. On Stranger Tide, not on Stranger Tide, what's it called? The third one in the series of the Pirates of the Caribbean.
I know which one you mean.
The one where there's the big confrontation between the British East India Company that for some reason is in the Caribbean. Don't question it. And
Castle Black Pearl, Desmond's
all
Chest.
the big pirates. Okay.
World's End? At World's End?
Well, at World's End. That scene with all the big pirates, that's inspired by this. because no Western pirate ever got to a fleet that size. Yes, they had some that were 10, 15 ships fleets going around in the Caribbean, but this was a fleet of over 100, and it wasn't even one
Damn.
fleet; it was multiple fleets. So like, she had 100 under her direct command,
Wow, that's many ships.
many more ships, and they're all color coded. So you had like the red flag fleet, black flag fleet, and so on and so forth. And
And they
she
were
was
fighting the Blue Flag Fleet.
no, they were fighting the Chinese and the Vietnamese.
Oh, that's a different thing then when she fought the
Yeah, and
Blue Flag Fleet.
eventually they ended up fighting the Portuguese and I think some British ships as well.
Oh wow, many ships.
Yeah, and regularly beat them.
Mm.
Um, in fact, unlike most pirates, she actually surrendered to the Qing authorities and was allowed to retire. Lived the rest of her life, if I remember correctly. To be fair, they did actually defeat the Blue Flag Fleet as well.
Yeah,
um,
that's what I read.
I know it was her husband would go and defeat the Blue Flag Fleet,
Ah, whoops, I read
which
wrong.
was one of the last pirate confederacies because they ended up destroying the pirate confederacy. Well, she took the ability to go off and do that, and she ended up running an infamous gambling house.
In
So,
Guangdong.
yeah,
Yeah.
it's such an interesting story, and while I enjoy the fact they're bringing it to a Western audience, people who probably don't know about this, it's annoying that it isn't given the full breadth. Although, understandably, in an episode of 50 minutes, there's not much you can do
Yeah.
about a character that wide. I mean, it's just sort of like how Shakespeare shows up. Although I think they did like Shakespeare a lot better, and there have been examples in episodes where I think they've done historical characters better
They've
than
done
them here.
historical characters better. They've done them worse. I
Yeah.
agree. This is kind of like somewhere in the middle, but it's cool for a character that less people know. I
Yeah.
would imagine, just to
More
kind
of
of
this,
give them
please.
some, yeah, just to give them some, yeah.
I mean, probably.
Well, words kind
I
of.
mean, there are so many like interesting characters, particularly in the Far East.
Mm-hmm.
Like Korea has an admiral.
Mm-hmm.
Cannot remember his name. Yi is one of his names. Um, not the dinosaur. I'm pretty sure it was Yi. I'm gonna have to like find it up. Search it up.
But yeah, there's plenty of historical figures. Will be cool to see what we get when RTD comes back in. Because I think some of the most hard-hitting ones for the Chibnall era have absolutely been the historical
Yi
ones.
Sun Shin. That's the
Okay, that
Korean
rings a
admiral.
bell.
Okay,
Yeah.
a seriously bad dude who never lost a battle in his life, although he paid for it in his last battle because he ended up dying in it.
Right. But did he still win?
Yes, he did. Um, bushwhacked the Japanese back to their island, which, yeah, something that the Koreans still celebrate because, I mean, let's be honest, there is still quite a bit of bad blood between Korea and Japan at the moment. And there will continue to be while the Japanese government refuses to accept the fact that their people were involved in war crimes. I've made this about politics again. I'm so sorry.
Yeah, I've just had a look at the Cyberman guy. I'm not sure if it is actually the same guy, but he looks similar, that's for sure.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, and that's the last one in autumn. Oh.
Yeah. Overall, like I say, it's a possible episode. It's probably my least favorite actually.
Yeah,
Out of this whole sort of flux section.
sure. There's definitely a couple of Flux episodes that I like less. But there's some that I like a lot more, and I liked the Christmas Eve of the Daleks a whole lot.
Yeah, Eve of the Daleks was. I think Eve of the Daleks was the superior standalone.
Mm-hmm.
I think it felt a lot more concise and to the point as well than this.
Yes, it was trying to do a lot less.
Yeah, it was doing a lot less. I think after that they thought, oh, we'll go for this like sweeping because it's such an epic topic of like big pirate fleets and all that. And I don't think they really had the ability to do that. I think they would have had to have partnered if they wanted to tell the story they wanted to do, and I think they would have had to have given it extra episodes. It would have been like a 2 or 3 parter, which I wouldn't have been opposed to.
No, but there's only so much money and only so much time.
There is, unfortunately.
But
yeah, I think either the Daleks was the superior story, and I think most like the historical sections in Flux rounded their historical characters a lot better.
Yep.
Than here.
I agree. I think the costumes, again, I can't speak for the historical accuracy incredibly, but they did look great.
Yeah, they did look great. I was pleased to see the I forget the name for it, but because we're talking about the Qing dynasty, they're Manchurians. They forced the Chinese to wear their head in traditional Manchurian styles, and that was the only way you're allowed to wear your hair as a male in China. At the time, under penalty, I think, of death, actually. So,
ouch.
Yeah, you wore it that way, basically.
Yeah, that's. Guess that would be why.
You see in a lot of imperialist sort of propaganda of the time, in like British newspapers and stuff, that whenever they draw a character of Chinese people, they always have that ponytail on it. It's not actually a Chinese thing; it's a Manchurian thing. Although the Manchurians are technically now part of the People's Republic of China, willingly or not.
Sure.
I forget the exact reasons behind it, but the Chinese didn't like it a lot, and most notably, people like the Republicans, the Republic Party of China, which would eventually become Taiwan, and of course the Communist Party, often used it as a method of protest, which could very well have got them killed. At least while the Qing were around. Although they fell before you got to the actual traditional Chinese. Now, I'm now going off on a history tangent about China, because China is interesting and old, and I recommend, even if you're just interested in what happens in this, in what happens to some of the characters in this episode, going and actually searching up and learning about it, because for most of human history, that has been the region where the world revolves around, not Europe and America, the Atlantic sort of area. And it is beginning to shift back that way. And therefore it is important to understand the history.
Sure. That makes sense. That makes sense. But yeah, no, I liked the through line that we had with the Doctor and Yaz stuff.
Yeah,
that all makes sense.
They're treating it with enough deference and respect. They're not going ridiculous with it, which is very good.
Yeah.
It feels very natural, which I mean, I say that now. I know for a fact that we're going to get some idiots online going, "It feels all forced. BBC being pro culture war, blah 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 blah." No, it does feel fairly natural to me. I don't see any forcing in it. There is chemistry there, and it seems to be quite well written. Sea Devil's very introduction. I like the design.
I like the design a lot.
It was a bit comical, and you could tell by some of the suits, because they kept some of the suits in the background, because I think there might have been a few production errors on the ones in the background, because I saw some of that.
I mean, I think they were.
Ways.
I think they were all. They were all prosthetics again, weren't they?
Yeah, which
was maybe some CG, but again, I'm awful at telling these things, so.
I think the only CG was actually on the sword.
Yeah, the sword was definitely a bunch of CG.
Yeah, I think the sword's sort of like blue tinge. I think that was the only thing that was like properly CG.
CG on them, yeah.
Everything else seemed there.
Again,
yeah,
the boat looked cool. The monster looked cool. Sort of just like it looked cool, you know. There's not a
Yeah,
lot more depth on this one. It was a fun swashbuckling style
I will
adventure.
say the CGI on this episode seemed worse than it did in Flux and Eve of the Daleks.
Eve of the Daleks, one of the many things that was good about it is there are Daleks. They're physical
Yeah,
props.
they are
So the
physical
only
Daleks.
CG we
Yeah,
had there was the
was
exterminations, which
yeah,
always look
which wasn't
funky,
necessary. Yeah,
and the blue lasers.
yeah, and again,
Flux, some of
it's
it was great, but I imagine they put a lot of money into that.
yeah. I get the
Um,
feeling that Flux has eaten up most of the budget. I think basically what I'm getting at is I think this story might have been better saved for either a longer period of episodes with more money put into it, either with the
mhm.
next Doctor or something along those lines. Although obviously it's a story that would have to then be told by the next director.
Yes,
And we don't know what direction that's going to go, although we do have our suspicions.
I have my fingers crossed for where I want it to go, but yeah, we'll have to wait and see.
Um, and I think this episode probably they should have gone the way of Eve of the Daleks, because Eve of the Daleks is a very, as I think we've mentioned, it's a precise story. There's not a lot of actual monetary value put into it. I mean, let's be
It's
honest,
super cheap.
they've rented
It's a
a storage
warehouse.
area.
Yeah, it's a storage area. It's the Daleks that they've already got with just a
They've
different gun attachment.
yeah, and it's just run around and a little bit of CGI.
Exactly.
That is, and I mean that's all it needs to be. Like
Yeah.
people nowadays have been so spoiled
Oh yeah.
with stuff like Star Wars and Marvel, where you have these big epic scenes and it feels almost like a movie going through it. And the BBC's out here producing similar stories with nowhere near the budget
Yeah.
through just clever thinking and decision making. And I think that
Mhm.
shines through in Dawn. In I didn't he said Dawn of the Daleks, not Dawn of the Daleks. It's Eve of the
Eve of
Daleks.
the Daleks is that one. Yeah.
Um, Whereas here, it almost feels like they wanted to try and go that path of the big epic story and like the movie
They
stars,
definitely did.
and I think they didn't have the budget or the time.
I agree. I feel
I
like
think
the story felt a bit rushed in places. It could have definitely done with a bit more breathing room.
yeah,
Um,
that's my major complaint with this. It
I
feels like
agree.
it feels like it should have been a 2 or 3 parter. It feels like it needed more time.
It definitely wouldn't need 2 parts. I'd agree maybe 2 parts, but then maybe that'd be too long. But maybe it just needed to be a bit more than 50 minutes because
Yeah,
that's just kind of regular episode length.
yeah,
Where rather like even just like an extra kind of 10 minutes, but maybe this was the
yeah.
slot they had, and that's what
It
they had to do. So
Yeah, basically. But then again, I would argue that if they're in that situation, then it might be a time to look back and think about various
for
other
sure,
episodes
for
and
sure.
do like a very tight, concise episode. Like, for
hmm
example, the one where David Tennant and Donna, where they're on like the Crystal Planet, and the entire episode is just the Doctor in a
I mean, Midnight, yes,
yeah, midnight,
Midnight is incredible, but
and that's an incredible episode, and that's it's all in there.
I mean,
That's the
like
type of episode that I would
the
argue they need to
sure.
think
So
about
like
doing.
the issue is if they really wanted to do this story, it would be that if you do it just like there's people on a ship trapped,
Yeah, but
the sea devils are attacking. We've kind of already had that with the curse of the black spot.
this is true. But my argument would be
Do
if
something completely
you
different.
it's do something completely different.
Yeah, I agree.
It's to understand the slot that you have and what you need to
hmm
do, and that's something that I think in Tennant and Capaldi's and that sort of older era, regardless of people's complaints about various episodes, they were very good at figuring out what needed to go in what time slot. Um,
I do agree that I don't feel like I mean, if I think about it more, I would think of some, but like off the top of my head, there's very few, if any, episodes from like pre-Chibnall, honestly, pre kind of Flux that feel particularly rushed to me. Like I'm sure if I
this is
sit down
true.
and think about it, I'll think of some. But even
Uh,
series 11 and 12, for the most part, I don't feel any of them felt rushed.
there's a few
Um,
where I think they needed more. There's what I'll say is there's a few where I think the idea was misused,
Oh, for sure.
and there's a few where I think they could have needed a bit more breathing space, like with Flux, actually.
Yes, I agree.
Which is the same two issues here, but this is the first one where I think properly they've been more ambitious. They've been too ambitious for the time they've been allotted, and I think the story they wanted to tell would have been better served basically with a longer slot or 2 episodes or something other than what they've done here.
I agree.
And I think they should have replaced it with a midnight or a Eve of the Daleks type episode, something very short, very concise, very to the point, with an interesting gimmick in it. Whether it be we're stuck in a place or we're going through a time loop. That was an incredible part of Eve of the Daleks.
I really like that one. Yeah,
it was really good.
Yeah, I know what you mean. Again, it is kind of we just had Eve of the Daleks. Want to give people something different, but we are kind of just
thing as well.
looping now. So okay, wait, what's another thing?
Which is it's also sandwiched between these 2 episodes. It was always going to be an issue, I think, with Eve of the Daleks and this episode. It's squished between Flux, which has clearly had a lot of effort put into it.
Yeah.
And our last 2 episodes, which are going to round out Jodie's.
Yeah, I think it's a 2-parter. Yeah, I could be wrong, but I think it's a 2-parter.
That is in of itself a bit of an issue in regards to the amount of time and effort spent on this.
It's like Falcon and the Winter Soldier being put between WandaVision and Loki as well. It's like it's much more similar to the standard format.
That exactly correct.
So it's like this thing in the middle would really need to stand out because, like, no matter what your opinions on Flux, it was definitely trying something different. It was definitely big. And the last episode,
big, interesting, and unique, and
that's for sure. And
that's
the same
what people have been
true...
complaining about for ages with Doctor Who.
Yeah,
so...
and the same is true. Probably, fingers crossed, the last 2 episodes will be great. But even if they aren't, they are the last 2 episodes.
Yeah,
so they're going to be remembered. So yeah, I think Eve of the Daleks did a great job. I think they tried to do something on the opposite end of the spectrum. It didn't quite pay off, but I appreciate them giving it a shot.
Yeah. Oh, no, it's nothing against the episode. It's still, I think, there are still episodes.
It's still a lot of fun.
That I can think of where I was sitting there and I was going, this isn't fun at all.
Yeah, I mean, it's not Orphan 55.
This one is at the very least a fun pirate movie.
Yeah, exactly. It is exactly a fun pirate movie. And that's where we'll leave this because we're rambling.
Yeah, we are. We've taken it well beyond where we need to. So yeah,
we have. But yeah. Looking forward to it. Also, not wanting to see this end, but we'll be back in the autumn at some point with the final Jodie episodes. We are also going to start Doctor Who at some point in the near future with Chris. Which will be going back through for us. Chris has seen some of it, but not all of it. It'll be interesting to go back through with him and Tom.
Probably when after we finish Moon Knight and Obi-Wan, because then we're going to have a little bit of breathing room there.
Quite possibly. But until then, thank you for listening, and we'll see you then. Goodbye.
See you then. Bye.
Thank you for listening to this episode of Cabincast. For more episodes, go to www.cabincast.podbean.com or use the Podbean app. You can now also find us on iTunes and Pocket Casts under Cabincast and on YouTube. The uploads here are quite behind. Finally, you can find us on Facebook at www.facebook.com/Cabincast. Thank you for listening, and we'll see you next time.